Census has allowed us to create an incredible culture around data that's led to a far better customer experience while saving a ton of money. We saw an opportunity where data and analytics specifically weren't just there to tell us what happened, to understand what users were doing for product decision making, but they were actually there to provide a better user experience. We've tried lots of things and lots of different ways of approaching this, but there was a clear gap for us. Historically, we've tried segment personas. It was really expensive, it was really hard to use, it was really limited, and the endpoints, the destinations were also quite limited. We'd hack the outcome of that by having a Zapier zap that would go and query Redshift, the table that has the DBT output, that would then go and make an API call to segment to write it as a trait on the user or on the group. So like really hacky things. So if we had an idea for a really smart email campaign that summarized your activities so far, that was a really big engineering task. And that for us meant a lot of what we wanted to do was at odds with our core product because they would be features themselves until we met Census. Another example is team invite suggestions over here. This is where, in this case, we're still using a DBT query. And what that does, it runs a query and says for each user, find me the top 10 people that they're meeting the most. And we want to make sure that those people are on their Hugo team and they're not already Hugo users. We then create a sync off the back of that sends it as an invite suggestions trait or property to each person in customer IO. So we're able to send suggestions like that have gone through some basic transformation in Census downstream, and we can send really personalized emails like this one that converts super well, where we can suggest people to invite based on your data. We had this idea internally of an early engagement score. We did some research and learned what users did in their first 7 days that were predictive of really long-term retention. So we built a model that defined that score, and we created that here as an early engagement trait. And we create a basic query here that says where that trait is true for a particular person. We're going to write that, both the flag, whether it's true or false, and the actual score as a trait on all of these individuals. And we then create a sync from there that sends it downstream to customer IO. What that lets us do for each person is we know whether they're early engaged. We know in the first 7 days at any point in time whether they're likely to be retained long-term. The value that we've got from Census can be bucketed in a few categories. One is we don't have a data engineer on the team. And historically, to do this level of transformation and integration, we'd need someone. Part-time, full-time, whatever it is, we'd be paying a salary. We all know what that costs nowadays, so we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars of savings. And the speed factor too, because as a growth person, as a marketer, as a product person, it's completely democratized. We can all jump in, we can create this stuff and get data where we need it. So we're moving faster and saving a ton of money by having people with the know-how to do this. It's for everyone.